18th June 2025 and 26th June 2025 to table, debate, pass or vote on the motion for the proposed removal from office by impeachment of the Governor of Isiolo County, and accordingly terminates the proceedings for the proposed removal from office by impeachment of Honorable Abdi Ibrahim Hassan, the Governor of Isiolo County. Now, Honorable Senators, the floor is open for debate. Yes, certainly it cannot be a point of order, Senator Methu.
Clarification, Mr. Speaker.
Proceed.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I raised pursuant to Standing Order 111 of our own standing orders, Mr. Speaker, on limitation of debate. I need not to buttress the fact that this will be an extremely important motion, and I'm sure many colleagues would want to comment on this motion, especially on the fact of the fatality of the process if this motion was to be carried. I'm sure many colleagues would want to comment on this motion, and if each of us was to take 15 minutes, certainly it will really take us a lot of time. Number two, Mr. Speaker, also, I have seen and have had a look at the schedule that you have already given on how we shall conduct this impeachment hearing of Governor Guyo. And I think, Mr. Speaker, we are way behind the schedule that we had already given, Mr. Speaker. On dispensing the preliminary objection, Mr. Speaker, I think it was not meant to take this long. So therefore, I want to propose, if it is agreeable to colleagues here so that we can have as many colleagues comment on this matter, that debate is limited to 4 minutes so that it can be accommodative to, well, it's allowed.
Honorable Senators, allow the Senator to move his motion for limitation, and thereafter we will see if he can strike a consensus on the time.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I see that many colleagues are actually proposing 3, and I am also agreeable that we agree to 3 so that many people can be able to comment, and so that we can be able to be accommodative. We can condense our thoughts and have them in 3 minutes. If this motion is not carried, then the rest of what we want to say, we can say it in the main motion if this motion is not carried. Maybe if you allow me, Mr. Speaker, I will invite my leader, Honorable Wambua, to second.
Mr. Speaker, I second the proposal to limit debate to 3 minutes.
Now, Honorable Senators, to save time, if we have a consensus, we need not to go through the procedural motions to prosecute this motion. It has been suggested that each senator getting to the floor to speak under 3 minutes. If that is the consensus, then we proceed. So 3 minutes it is. The Senator for Nairobi City County, Senator Edwin Sifuna. Before you speak, Senator for Nairobi City County, what is your clarification, Senator Maruma?
Maybe I would like to request that instead of all of us really debating, because this is a PO, then you can limit to maybe 6 from both sides, so that don't use a lot of time.
Now, Honorable Senators, the motion as proposed by Senator Methu has been dispensed with. We are not going to amend midway. Senator for Nairobi City County, you may proceed.
Honorable Speaker, when we come here and take oath there to uphold the law, there really is no room for sentiment. You have to do what is right by the law. It doesn't matter what personal feelings you have. In fact, Mr. Speaker, I have a problem with the way this motion was framed, because the question as to whether there was a sitting on the 26th has already been answered by the Assembly itself. The Assembly has told us that, in fact, there was no sitting on the 26th because of the circumstances. That is the truth. Secondly, the reason why I feel like this is a moot question. As a lawyer, I took an oath on the 2nd of October in 2008 to uphold the Constitution and the law. Impeachment processes are guided by the Constitution and the law. If a court of competent jurisdiction has said it doesn't matter whether there was a sitting on 26th or not, whatever happened that day is null and void. There's nothing to discuss. It is that simple. So for me, Honorable Speaker, I am very clear in my mind, there has been a tacit concession by the Assembly that in fact there was no sitting. There is a second limb that in fact there is a court decision.
Senator for Nairobi City
yes,
County. That is the second motion that is yet to be moved.
I understand, Honorable Speaker, these two matters are related.
Yes,
I was speaking to the motion.
I've given a guidance that we
I was speaking to the motion. The motion is whether there was a sitting, and the question of whether it is a question to be put anyway is what I am addressing, Honorable Speaker, with due respect. I have had senior colleagues in the profession, and I have tremendous respect for all of them. It will be the darkest day, Honorable Speaker, when me, as a lawyer who is also an appointed officer of the court, the person who has been crying all over the place saying we need to respect the rule of law, and that the cornerstone of rule of law is obedience of court orders. I was one of the lawyers for Miguna. We got almost 12 court orders. They were all disobeyed by some people now who are running around telling us about court orders in this country. So, Honorable Speaker, for me, the question as to whether there was a sitting has already been answered by the Assembly themselves, and the answer can be played back. You will hear counsel admitting that in fact the circumstances on that day did not favor a sitting. They have had to go and repair and look for Hansard material because of that circumstance that he told us about. If you don't follow procedure, Honorable Speaker, it doesn't really matter. These conversations that the majority leader was inviting us to have, we have committees of this House whose work is to look into affairs of county governments. And in fact, we have done it in the county of Nyamira. So, Honorable Speaker, my position is I am not convinced that there was a sitting on the 26th of July to do this impeachment, and having that process.
Senator for Nairobi City County, just take a seat. Senator Mandago, what is your point of order?
Yes, Honorable Speaker, I didn't want to interrupt the lawyer, Senator Sifuna, but I thought I heard very clearly the county assembly said there was a sitting, only that there was destruction of the evidence of the answered, Honorable Speaker. It cannot be true to say that there was no sitting.
So is that a point of information or?
I'm lost because
Senator
I didn't even know when there was consensus.
You may use that information if need be.
The beauty with our proceedings, unlike the ones in Isiolo, we are live on TV, the Hansard is here, it can be read back. He said it was not possible, the circumstances obtaining on that particular day.
Senator Morango. Now, honorable senators, once you get an opportunity to debate this motion, remember we are debating on the motion on whether there was a sitting. The motion on the court orders shall come next, depending on the outcome of this particular motion. Proceed, Senator Morango.
Asante sana Mstahiki Spika kwa kunipa nafasi. Mstahiki Spika, hapo awali kabla sijakuwa seneta, nilikuwa mwakilishi wandi katika gatuzi za Kirinyaga. Na zaidi nilikuwa kiongozi wa wengi wakati huo. Wakati huo pia tuliweza kung'atua ngavana nikiweko. Na tukamleta hapa na akarudi. Na ni sawa. Mstahiki Spika, na bado yuko. Mstahiki Spika, kuna umuhimu wa kikao cha bunge la gatuzi kukaa katika mahali ambapo panajulikana na pamewekwa katika gazeti la serikali. Wakati huo nakumbuka vichwa vyetu vilikuwa vinatakikana. Lakini sisi zote ambao tulikuwa tunaamini na tumeamua lazima gavana aende, tulilala katika bunge la gatuzi la Kirinyaga kuhakikisha tumefanya kazi yetu. Kwa nini? Ili kufuata sheria na kanuni zilizowekwa. Kwa hivyo, Mstahiki Spika, uhitaji wetu kama seneta ni kufanya jambo ambalo lililo halali la kisheria. Mstahiki Spika, chumvi haina maana kwa mtu ambaye anakunywa chai. Vile vile sukari haina maana kwa mtu anayekunywa supu. Sisi tutakuwa tu na maana kama utakuja kufanya uamuzi ambao unakizana na sheria za nchi hii. Asante sana Mstahiki Spika.
Senator Maanzo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity to contribute on this motion. Mr. Speaker, we are sworn to uphold the law, and every process which goes on in the county assemblies and even in this Senate and any house has to follow the law. In the case of Kenya, it has to be the Constitution of Kenya and the acts of parliament dealing with that particular matter. Mr. Speaker, anything outside that then becomes a different scenario, and the law has to apply as it is decided. Mr. Speaker, the issue of an impeachment of a governor is a very serious matter and has very serious consequences. And therefore, the law must be followed to the letter so that the Assembly does not get involved in an exercise in futility, nor does this House get involved in an exercise in futility. The moment we make a decision, the governor can go to a court to seek further justice, or the Assembly can also go to a court to seek further justice if we never followed the process. And therefore, it is important, Mr. Speaker, we adhere to the process. Finally, it is a matter of a vote. We will vote according to our conviction, Mr. Speaker, and the decision will be carried in one way or another. So finally, it is a vote. And the law recognizes that vote, whichever it has gone, it has very serious consequences, and therefore, it has to be fair, Mr. Speaker. And the best way to make sure that the decision is fair, it is the adherence of the Constitution and the relevant statutes, and also the procedures laid in our standing orders, Mr. Speaker, so that justice is accorded to all parties involved, Mr. Speaker. And therefore, I look forward to this vote, and this debate is very important. It guides the House, and the whole country is following what this House does, and the country takes the Senate very seriously as a place. While we all sit as judges and we pass judgment in one way or another, the judgment has to be fair and in accordance with the law. And therefore, Mr. Speaker, I support the motion and I will be voting. I thank you.
Senator Mgatana.
Mr. Speaker, every time we come to this House, the House Business Committee must have sat down. They must have balloted the motions. They must have prepared which motions are significant or prioritized. And then an order paper is prepared, Mr. Speaker. And when that order paper is prepared and it has a motion, the notice of motion would be moved like we did today. And then once that notice is given, there will be a debate. There is no question about that. Mr. Speaker, when we say that a meeting took place, the debate took place, I expected that there would be minutes of the House Business Committee